And the best of today's football action now on BBC One. David Davies presents Match of the Day.
Good evening. Who said it was a day for Christmas shopping rather than for football? They certainly didn't think so on Tyneside. Newcastle are the team of the month. Up front, they've got the striker of the month and of the season so far. Oh, and there's the manager of the month too. But today came his and Newcastle's biggest test against the champions on top form already this week. Newcastle against Manchester United, top of the bill tonight. Plus, we assess the new West Ham, beaten only twice in 10 games. Today, their opponents at Upton Park, Coventry, and Phil Neal, the Premiership's newest boss. As always, we've the best of the rest elsewhere. And Alan and Trevor won't be short of opinions. You can absolutely bank on that. But first, where better to start than St James's Park, Newcastle? The team of the month against the runaway leaders, anticipation high, the commentator Barry Davis.
Andy Cole collecting all the awards, but probably the most important of his 22 goals, 16 of them in the Premiership, came in the match at Old Trafford. It produced for Newcastle United their first point in the Premiership after they'd started their campaign with 2 defeats, and it gave his side the belief that they could live with the best. And now, here they are with the whole of the league hoping they can place a boulder in the way of the runaway leaders. Robert Lee is fit for a game that no one in the camp wanted to miss. He passed a fitness test on a knee injury. Scott Sellers has recovered from a back injury, and Steve Howe plays his first game at home since the opening game of the season. Manchester United are unchanged from Wednesday, which produced their 10th away victory. Roy Keane starts on the substitutes bench. He came on at Bramall Lane after being out for 5 games, the result of a burst blood vessel. The man in charge is Keith Hackett. And if you don't know which team is which, you haven't been watching much football this season. On by Mark Hughes. First offside flag, catches Andy Cole. Hughes, he was held, referee played a super advantage. Owen. Giggs. McClare. Manchester United in the end rather unlucky. Cantona didn't have time to turn the body. Giggs, he might. Cantona's in a good position to his right. Istanbul made that piece of information. No waste of time. Hughes. Players are finding the pitch very difficult, and that was not a good tackle by Hughes. but it's well received. No fuss made by Howie. Cole makes the run. Beardsley in possession. And again Beardsley. Cole to his left. It's all a bit too anxious. Picked up again. And it shouldn't have been. Owen concedes the corner. That's cutting a lot. Met by Ince. Too strong the throw out, even against the breeze. Watson. Bruce. That's well played out. Benison drives through and has a little confrontation with Ince afterwards. Paul Parker. Lee Sharp. Hughes in the middle. Two others with him. Well done by Sharp. On by Giggs. Hughes. Attack from Manchester United, and at the end of it, Mark Hughes didn't quite get it as he wanted to. Clark. Pallister's header. Not a good one. Beardsley, good save. Got away with it, did Gary Pallister. An instant shot after a poor header by Gary Pallister. Sellers to take the corner. Plenty forward, driven cross off the head of Beardsley. Touch unlucky, the little fella. Well, two best things have come from Beardsley. It was a good ball in by Sellers and just past Peter Schmeichel's right post. Comes down to Cole. Beardsley makes the run instantly, but Cole can't get the ball enough welly. Defensive error again. Clark. Beardsley. No foul, says the referee. It was on the edge of the box. But the referee's given nothing anyway. Cantona at the other end. Howie covers and well. He's got away, but so had the ball. And the crowd still reacting to the fact that there was no free kick given. Real dive in there by Ince, and it looked like a push, I have to say, by Steve Bruce, but outside the area. Bruce slightly stepped on the ball. Cantona back to help. It was a very risky pass. Might be made to pay. Sellers, though, hangs on too long. And Brian McClare brings it out and then is fouled. And that really all came as the result of a long clearance across the face of the penalty area by Eric Cantona, and it could have been costly. Cole waiting to know when to go. Tried to make a bit of a hole for Sellers, who then ran down a cul-de-sac. Giggs. First run his head. 2 minutes to take on. He was held off the ball by Lee, but he swung first. Still a kid smile, although he's now in his 20s. Kevin Keegan goes to the dressing room first, and he knows that his side created the only 2 chances of the half, both to Beardsley. The first coming from a bad clearance that produced a good save by Schmeichel. The second, a flicked header that came from the corner and went past Schmeichel's right-hand post. But the soft pitch and the wind playing a part. But although they might not agree, a disappointing first half. Here we go, the second half, it's 0-0. Only a couple of goal-mouth incidents in the first period. Here is from Manchester United, I suppose, was the overhead kick by Hughes, which was by no means one of his special ones. Cole. Overhit it a bit, here's Lee. Watson and Giggs. Good play, good sway by Watson. Offside. One young man against another. Steve Watson getting away from Giggs. Elliott. Good stuff from Clark. Sellers. Taken by Beardsley, inside is Clark. Cover man was in, still on though. Beardsley. Good goalkeeping by Peter Schmeichel, really spread himself well. And he was right on top of Peter Beardsley. Beardsley again. Bracewell. Clark. Ince didn't know he had it. Sellers. Beardsley on the touchline. Out by Pallister. Ince who got in the challenge. And it was picked up by Sellers. And suddenly it was Beardsley against Schmeichel, who did awfully well. Indication of how soft this pitch is. And a lot of time at half-time fitting in the divots. Beardsley. Good leap by Paul Parker, had to win it, there were 2 behind him. Sellers. Clark. The threat continues to come from Newcastle, very much more than from Manchester. Busy black and whites. Watson. It's in play still. Parker didn't make the clearance. Bracewell. Well seen by Pallister. But there's always somebody following up. And again. Cantona. Chance of the break. Almost a superb ball, looking for Giggs. Steve Watson. Lee Clark. Elliott. Handball by Bruce. Brings a smile to the referee's face and irritation around the ground. Andrei Kanchelskis about to be brought into the action. Who has to make his way off again to be replaced by the Russian international born in the Ukraine. Newcastle hunting tacks. Got the finesse of the Dutch side that did that so effectively. As yet, it might come. Manchester United under a lot of pressure. But here's Giggs. Good shot, good goal. Paul Ince, his first of the season. After a lot of pressure in the second half by Newcastle United, suddenly Manchester United snatch a goal. Cracking shot from Paul Ince past the outstretched hand of Mike Hooper. Kanchelskis with the cross. They didn't really mark up well. Giggs had the time, set it up for Ince to drive home. A second short of the hour. And worth putting on record that shot by Paul Ince, which found its way home, was the first shot on goal in the match for Manchester United, and it came a second short of the hour. Play by Howie. Used to be a forward and got forward like one there. Not a bad cross either, well watched. Howie! He started it and tried to finish it. That was where Bruce just got his head to it. Shot over the top. No changes yet by Kevin Keegan. His opposite number, Alec Ferguson, with reason to feel that his worked very well. Giggs to the middle, found by Kanchelskis, the new man, and Ince coming in to score. Chase for Giggs. Hooper has to come a long way. Not back in his goal yet. Stuff from Howie. Pallister. Lovely header from Cantona, sharp. Good stop. Well forward was Hooper. And Sharp would be a bit disappointed he didn't do better. He was clean down the middle. On his right, drove it straight at Mike Hooper. We haven't seen concerted attacks on Newcastle since they went behind, which will be the disappointment of the majority in the crowd of 36,388, which is the season's best by exactly 14. Previous best was against Liverpool. As far as Newcastle are concerned, a very different match from the one against Liverpool. That was won by half-time. This will take a deal of winning now. Beardsley. Oh, what a good ball. Lee does well with the cross. Cole! It's one apiece. Well, they're halfway there. Wonderful ball by Peter Beardsley. Instant cross by Robert Lee. It just needed the nod. Excellent goal. '72nd minute. It's 1-1 as it was at Old Trafford. Andy Cole has scored as he did at Old Trafford. And no surprise who started the move. Beautiful pass. And it must be said, although they've been a little on their heels since going behind, Newcastle deserved the goal. Goal against the side where he spent a few months, Peter Beardsley. And Kevin Keegan, who adopted a very calm posture when his side went down. It's taken a long, long time for the kettle to come to the boil, but it certainly has reached that point now. What a pass by Beardsley. Excellent cross. Howie. Elliott. Sellers. Oh, look at that. Nicely done. Clark now the recipient. Cole. Lost control. Almost got it back again. Sellers. If it had got the touch from Beardsley, it would have been in, because Michael was already committed to the shot. Watson. For Cole. Bannister with him. Beardsley in the middle, so's Clark. Cole. The score, 1 minute left. Benison once more. Bit short by Bracewell. And this is Ince. And Giggs waits. The pass is behind them all. And Keane fires wide. And I think you know exactly how Alec Ferguson feels. It was the wrong ball in the first place, but it was a blaster that got a deflection for the corner by Keane. Nobody challenged, and Hooper seemed to be very surprised about that. Can't believe it, no Manchester United player moved into the 6-yard area. It's run through to Beardsley. Parker with him. No foul. Keane. Owen. Well, the wind may have died a little bit. This is the challenge by Parker. Won the ball cleanly. The wind died. The pitch didn't get any better. But my heaven, the second half did. Paul Ince scoring for Manchester United just short of the hour. Against the balance of play at that stage. Andy Cole squaring it as he did at Old Trafford back in August. 1-1, the final outcome of a match which took so long to get going, but when it did, produced a very interesting last half an hour. Newcastle United 1, Manchester United 1.
We had a really good 12-15 minute patch there where you thought, if we keep working like this, something's going to happen, chances are going to be created, and of course, with the players we've got, goals are going to be scored. And then suddenly they went straight down, whipped in what looked like a fairly innocuous ball, and young Giggs laid it off, and it was a great strike from Ince. And you know, the first time they'd had a shot, we were picking the ball out of the net. So it does get to you that a little bit, but credit to the lads, they battled on. We got back in, and I think if any team was going to win it at the end, it was going to be us. We were the ones, again, taking it to Manchester United, which pleased me.
Happy with the point?
Not really. I think we didn't really play well. You know, I feel we played in fits and starts. I think when we went 1-0 up, Sharp had a great chance to score, and the keeper saved it. So I suppose at the end of the day, points, but they're no points.
I thought the way the game had been going, where we had most of the possession really, that it was going to be one of them days. But luckily Andy popped it with a great headed goal.
Which you started. It was some pass and it was some cross.
Yeah, I mean, Rob Lee made a great run for me, which I was able to play inside Dennis Irwin. And the cross was absolutely brilliant. But I mean, people maybe see it on Match of the Day, the movement by Andy Cole to get in that position was brilliant. He's went in and then checked out, and he's really made the header easy for himself.
Trevor, overall, Newcastle worth at least the draw.
Yes, it was a very good second half. Good goal by Paul Ince with his left foot as well, pleasing. But for the possession that they had and the good passing movements in the second half, definitely Newcastle deserved to get all square. And I think, I mean, it was that passing and movement, Peter Beardsley said, for the goal. He drops deep, as he so often does, and picks out Robert Lee here. Look at Andy Cole now. You know, he mentions he does all the hard work before the header. Look, it goes to the near post. It draws Steve Bruce in and Peter Schmeichel, and then it looks a fairly easy header in the end, but the hard work was done beforehand with that movement. And I mean, Newcastle, with the confidence they got now, I mean, this little move here, young Steve Howie back in the side, a lot of confidence in possession. Elliott, the fullback, natural left footer. Scott Sellers is always a good touch player. The experience of Brace, you know, the movement and support. People getting into the penalty area. United had to defend on occasions extremely well, and although they didn't get the second goal, Newcastle, they'd have derived a lot of confidence from the way they matched United throughout the game.
And you, I think, also impressed by the contribution to this game of Barry Venison, the Newcastle captain.
Yes, well, Barry played very well during the promotion season. Of course, then as his old position at Liverpool was right back. But when Steve Howie got injured in the opening week of the season, he switched to central defence. And I think even Kevin said he's been a revelation. It's not so much, you know, his interceptions, which as a defender he's always been good at, but it's his composure here at the back. You know, he chests the ball down, comes inside Hughes, and his use of the ball then to set up a Newcastle attack is vital. If you're a passing team, as Newcastle are, but his interceptions and tackling are still as good as ever, even though he's in those central positions. Here, Giggs looks as if he's going to break away, and it's a terrific interception there that snuffs out the attacks very early on. But it is, for me, you know, when they've got a young back four, as they have other players around, Howie, Elliott and Watson, you need somebody like Barry Venison just to settle things down. It's all a bit hectic and frantic, but here, again, he brings the ball out of defence. He's looking up where can he help his midfield players and his strikers. On this occasion, Andy Cole just got caught offside, but he's always looking to bring his attacking people in, and it's very important to sort of the Newcastle pattern of play.
But Alan, at the end of the day, a good point for United and for a defence that doesn't always get the attention of the Cantonars and the Giggs.
No, that's right, they defended well, and I think if you go to Newcastle and defend badly, they will tear you apart. Manchester United have got a solid defence, they play as a unit, and they're well organised, and if you're going to win the Championship, these qualities are essential.
And well pleased they'll be with that point, you think?
Yeah, but a point was a good result for them.
OK, West Ham, you know, are enjoying their best spell in the top division for almost 6 years. This morning, they were 10th, their season apparently transformed by Billy Bond's skill in the transfer market. Coventry City were the visitors at Upton Park today, and Tony Gubber was the commentator.
Coventry's Roy Wegerle is among the assortment of foreign players in our domestic game who will be gracing the World Cup next summer. He joins the United States team as soon as our season ends. And teammate Phil Babb is another who might make it with Jack Charlton's Republic of Ireland, courtesy of an Irish mother. He was in the squad for the qualifying game in Belfast. But it's an everyday quest for league points that's today's priority. Both sides are unchanged. West Ham as they were in losing here 1-0 to Leeds 4 days ago. Number 14, Ian Bishop, who'll run central midfield, having overcome doubts about flu. Coventry field the same team that completed the double over Arsenal last Saturday. Number 10, Mickey Quinn, got the crucial goal for them then, and indeed 4 of his 7 this season have come against the Gunners. Keith Cooper of Pontypridd, our referee this afternoon. And Coventry in the goal shirts, attacking the goal to the right, forcing Steve Grizovic to make an early kick. When these two teams met in the third match of the season, it ended in a 1-1 draw up at Highfield Road. Dale Gordon scoring for West Ham, Roy Wegerle equalising for Coventry. Nicely laid down by Morley, and then Holmes trying to get it back from Lee Chapman, but it was Peter Atherton who'd covered. Bishop. West Ham have to hurry. Rennie lets it drop. That took a rebound off the chest of Atherton. It's put Lee Chapman in possession. Morley comes to the near post. Oh! Grizovic made the save, and he just made himself as big as he could at the feet of Morley. It was a fortunate rebound that put Lee Chapman free on the left. And as Morley made the run to the near post, Chapman found him, and Grizovic spread himself to concede the corner. Came off Wegerle. And Coventry have pulled everybody back into their own penalty area. Some confusion among the players about whether it was another corner or a throw, and the throw has finally been taken. And I think it was Marsh who was just caught offside. Trevor Morley, joint top scorer with 7 this season, one of those from a penalty. Atherton and Rennie, who were involved for Coventry. Look how much time Chapman's got here, maybe too much. Potts looking for a target. Chapman available. Nicely taken down by Butler. Marsh, back to Butler. Oh, good ball. Breaker on a break. He hasn't scored since last Christmas. He has now. Oh, Tim Breaker loves the festive season. And West Ham opened the scoring with 12 minutes gone. What a good link-up that was between the West Ham players, and Breaker, the full-back, on the overlap, running into space, and when he wanted the ball played in front of him, it was. And from that sort of a position, a goal was inevitable. And let's credit the contribution by Peter Butler as well. He's played all his football previously with clubs in the lower leagues before arriving at West Ham last season. But his part in the build-up to that goal was so crucial. Boland wasn't quite sure where that was going, and that'll be another West Ham throw. Lee Chapman, Rennie behind him. And Chapman will now jog off into the penalty area, and Burrows will endeavour to get it to him. And he has. And Morley, they're trying to tee it up. Butler was blocked by Rennie. Breaker for Marsh to pursue, closely marked by Morgan. And Babb's clearance has gone inevitably to Butler. Seems to be getting on the end of everything. Chapman won it. In by Marsh. You'd have to say that West Ham could be 3 up in this match. And Mike Marsh may well feel that he should have opened his scoring account for his new club with that sort of effort from that sort of distance, and no defender within 2 or 3 yards. Bishop. That time he ignored Burrows, but Matt Holmes didn't. Holmes chipped up for Chapman at the back post. Morley goes in, Grizovic was there, and play continues. Well, there was a moment when most of the crowd seemed to think the whistle would go then for perhaps a push by Morley on Grizovic. Well, there's no doubt here that Chapman does get free of his marker at the back post, but he doesn't quite get his forehead onto the ball properly. And the referee seeing no offence there as Morley went in on the keeper. Haven't been many opportunities for Mickey Quinn to show his goal-scoring touch. Goals in 14 games he scored when he arrived at Coventry for £250,000 a year ago. Finished the season with 17, and the foot was high. But David Burrows isn't the sort of player to complain. Referee's having a quiet word with Flynn. Butler to run at them. Marsh gives it in back. Butler, still Butler! Oh, what a good goal! And how richly deserved by a player who's been the star of the first half. And again, a little spell of football by West Ham that you can only sit back and enjoy. Butler started it, Marsh gave it in back, Butler took it in his stride. Maybe there was a little knock on there from Morley, but Butler was right through the heart of them and in off the foot of the post to put West Ham 2 up. Yes, there was a little touch from Morley which was instrumental. But Peter Butler gets his first of the season with 5 minutes to go to half-time, and it's a peach. Knocked up for Roy Wegerle with his back to goal. That's Julian Darby, and he's found him well. Darby! Coventry have pulled one back. Julian Darby popping up, and it's immediate riposte from Coventry. Wegerle, who played it into the path of Darby, he held off the challenge of Butler and put it wide of Miklosko. So Coventry's reply is immediate. Butler pumping through the middle. This is Marsh. Lee Chapman. Butler. And Bishop. David Burrows might think about hitting one. Oh, and he does strike a great ball, doesn't he, David Burrows? It was a lovely height. And the 6'4" Coventry goalkeeper had to be at full stretch. And as the first half moves into added time, West Ham have a corner. But you could hardly strike one better than that. Chapman got the header down, Rennie missed it. And that's the final act of the first half. A first half in which West Ham looked to be in total control. The first goal from Breaker, and then that real quality strike from Peter Butler. But Coventry replied immediately with Julian Darby pulling one back. So at half-time here at Upton Park, it's West Ham 2, Coventry 1, and a really exciting game to enjoy. West Ham start the second half, wanting to pick up from where they were after Peter Butler scored. And maybe the celebrations at having gone 2-0 up went on just a few seconds too long. Holmes to knock it in. Came off the head of Atherton. Butler arrives. And the shot on the turn by Mike Marsh. So West Ham tried to make amends right at the start of the second half. Coventry were unbeaten in their first 8 league games of the season and were 4th in the table, but they've slipped somewhat since, back down into the bottom half and 15th place. Quinn, Wegerle. This is Quinn. Stung the hands of Miklosko, who stood up to it at the near post. Coventry will certainly feel more confident that there might be something in this match for them as a result of that goal by Julian Darby. Back header by Moore. This is Chapman. Marsh. Breaker goes on the overlap. Butler. Bishop retrieves it. Burrows. This is Tony Gale. Chapman steered it down nicely to Butler. Matt Holmes. Came off the head of Rennie. This is Breaker. Again, West Ham enjoying a long spell of possession around Coventry's penalty area. Marsh, oh, shouldered over. Yes, the linesman's put the flag on his chest, and the referee has pointed at the spot. And young Peter Undlub maybe increasingly frustrated at the lack of opportunities he's had because of how tightly he's been marked by Tim Breaker, has conceded a penalty. Pushing Marsh in the back before either of them had the ball under control. Both referee and linesman in unison. Trevor Morley, who's placed the ball. An opportunity to give West Ham a lead of 3-1 with an hour played. Well, the scoreline doesn't flatter West Ham in any way because they've played some really good football this afternoon, but it's from the penalty spot that the third goal finally arrives. Well, West Ham were fourth bottom with just 5 points and 1 win at the start of the season. Then came the 3 new players, and that away match at Blackburn, they won 2-0, and they haven't looked back since. Morley trying to tee it up for somebody. Bishop hit the crossbar against Leeds in midweek, but it was a rueful smile at where that one finished up. Potts. This is Peter Atherton. Quinn. Darby's available. And now Rennie. Nice little flick. Good ball in. Oh, great header. And Julian Darby gets his second goal of the match. And at both ends this afternoon, there have been real quality strikes. It's a really inviting ball played in, and Julian Darby getting to it first and pulling another goal back for Coventry with some 13 minutes left. Offside. Marsh hadn't got back. £150,000 signing in October, and he was always going to get to that one first. This is Atherton, and Coventry may well feel they can get something out of this. Look at the pace of Williams. Strong tackle by Tony Gale, and Coventry are looking at the linesman and the referee, and neither feel there was a penalty in it. It was inside the penalty area, and the Coventry players, led by John Williams, are still looking across at the linesman, and it doesn't look from that angle as though Tony Gale got anything of the ball. Well, John Williams has a terrific turn of heel, and Phil Neal certainly knows that. A player who won the Sprint Challenge a season or two ago. Morley kept it in play. Burrows. Rennie slipped. This is Marsh. Still Marsh. Oh, good play by Marsh. Oh, good save of Grizovic. But neat little footwork by Mike Marsh. Hardly seemed possible that he could keep possession of that, or that he could get through, what, 4 defenders, but he did. And Grizovic put his hand up to knock it behind for the corner. Marsh. Burrows. Holmes. Makes space for the cross into the penalty area. Still Holmes. Pulled it back to Tony Gale. Allen. It wouldn't come down, and anyway, there were players offside. Maybe the best chance was the one which fell to Tony Gale there. Matt Holmes wriggling into the penalty area. Gale was at full stretch, and as Alan hit this, Lee Chapman was offside. Well, managers can only watch and wait and hope and wonder how much Keith Cooper will add on. Breaker down the touchline. Chapman is in the middle. Butler and Marsh, and there goes the whistle. A real rip-roaring league match, a quality game in the Premier League, which West Ham have won by 3-2. Trevor Morley's penalty after 60 minutes, giving West Ham that commanding 3-1 lead after Julian Darby had pulled one back in the first half. At full time here at Upton Park, it's West Ham 3, Coventry 2.
Everybody was sort of expecting us to get relegated this year, and that was fair, you know, the way we were playing, but things have turned around for us now, and you know, we're looking at the top half of the table hopefully now.
I mean, no disrespect to West Ham, but in fact West Ham not fighting a relegation battle is almost an item of news, isn't it?
Yes, but fingers crossed that won't happen. You know, we're going very well now, and I think if we keep playing with the confidence we're playing with now, then we can stay in the top half.
We are disappointed because we felt we deserved something out the game, and both times we got back in the game, you know, after being 2 goals behind, 3-1 down, and we felt we should have got a draw at least.
Very disappointed, very disappointed.
So you're going home unhappy?
Yeah, I am, yeah. We work hard all week, and but the officials have given one very quickly for West Ham. They've not really kind of bothered. I mean, the teamwork that's involved, I felt the linesman let the referee down, not the referee really. I thought it was blatant.
So, Alan, your view of that incident, a penalty or not?
I've got to agree with Phil Neal. I thought it was blatant myself. Atherton gets it here, he plays it over the top. The pace of Williams is absolutely frightening. Gale, he gives Gale 3-4 yards, gets onto it. From that angle, it looks blatant. And we show you exactly where the linesman is here. He's got a great view of it and no excuses for him. But from this angle, it's a stone wall penalty. He touches it on, Gale comes across, and they've been denied a point really in the end.
And what about West Ham's advance overall? Is it just the players they've brought in, or is there more to it than that?
Yeah, I think the players that they've brought in helps. I mean, they play some nice stuff, nice football, but with Chapman up front, they've got an extra option. You know, it's always good to have an outlet up there, and he can win it, and especially in the box, he's got presence in the box, he'll win the headers in the box, and he makes chances for them. But I thought a feature of the play today was the running of Breaker from right back. He made great runs, and also another feature was the reluctance of the Coventry players to pick him up. And the first goal is a perfect example. Here we've got Circle, Breaker and Unlove. Now watch Breaker, he just runs past him. Unlove's supposed to be picking him up. Ball comes through to him, he's onto it, and he scores a goal. It's a great run, but as I say, he should have been picked up. And this again, watch him here, this time it's Wegerle. He runs right past him, Wegerle doesn't bother. If it gets played in that position quickly, then he'd be in. When it comes across, it eventually goes for the throw-in, and Breaker does well again here because he lets it run out. Turns quickly, good run from Marsh, no defender in sight. Unlove comes back again, a clumsy challenge, and it's a definite penalty. And watch him again here, Tim Breaker, Unlove again. He just loses him, he gets in front of him, just there, gets in front. Marsh does terribly well, but if he cuts it back here to Breaker, it's going to be another goal. And he just got forward every opportunity. When you go away from home, you should make life difficult for the opposition. I felt today Coventry made it a little bit too easy for them.
And the ex-Liverpool influence still counting there?
Yeah, I think that Burrows has played well for them. Burrows was a great buy. Marsh has played well in the middle of the park. The three of them have changed West Ham's fortunes. OK, Trevor, I mean, you're smiling there. You must be enjoying this. Are you surprised, though?
A surprise? Not at all. I'm surprised we're not further up the table. I mean, yes, we must be to a certain extent, but I think, as Alan said, that it was very kind of his previous club to offer them in the transfer market, because they have helped transform the side.
And you're just behind Liverpool now?
Well, I didn't like to mention that until we'd gone past them. I expect over the holiday period.
Trevor's dreaming again.
Yeah. Meanwhile, what was happening elsewhere today? Nobody had a more daunting task, surely, than the bottom club Swindon, because they went to Anfield.
Swindon's problem this season, they've been winning more friends than matches. Good football, bad results. They added to their collection of hard luck stories today at Liverpool, where they led twice. John Moncur stylishly finishing what he'd started. Swindon ahead after an hour. The lead lasted just over 10 minutes thanks to John Barnes, who scored his second goal of the week to announce his return to fitness and form. Neil Ruddock doing the fetching and carrying, Barnes' header squirting through Fraser Digby's hands. Barnes, only just 30, still with plenty to offer. Last season, Keith Scott was guiding Wycombe Wanderers into the Football League. Now he's trying to keep Swindon Town out of it. Full marks to Kevin Horlock's approach work, Andy Mutch's header, and with a hint of offside alongside Grobbelaar, Scott made it 2-1 with 17 minutes to go. But with just 4 of those minutes still to tick away, another McManaman corner was met by Mark Wright's towering header. Another Cop-End rescue. Liverpool unbeaten at home for 3 months now. At Manchester City, there's now more cause for concern about on-the-field problems than those off the field. Tottenham got a half-time ear bashing from Ossie Ardiles and responded with their first league win in 10 games. City's static defence twice lost track of Jason Dezelle. He scored from Darren Anderton's cross after 64 minutes, then added another a couple of minutes from time to maintain Spurs' recent grip on City. Dezelle, a player who always seems to have time. Injury hit City down in the bottom 6. It was going on 2 months since Chelsea had even scored in a home game, so even with a mere 12,500 inside Stamford Bridge, there was a mighty roar of relief around 3:25. Gavin Peacock ended the long wait in front of the shed. It's been a while since Chelsea have had anything to smile about. They were making up for lost time. But they lost the lead 10 minutes into the second half with a goal that will certainly make Chelsea's rivals smile. Norwegian defender Erland Johnsen meets Russian keeper Dmitry Karin, and the breakdown in communications calamitous. Chris Kiwomya directed home Stuart Slater's shot, and with Glenn Hoddle still sidelined with ankle trouble, for a while the anxieties surfaced. John Walk almost put Ipswich ahead, but Hoddle was encouraged by some of Chelsea's attacking play today, and particularly by the persistence of Mark Stein. 7 games without a goal now. Ipswich keeper Craig Forrest saw to that. But Chelsea are more convinced than ever that Stein will have the final say in the great Chelsea debate.
You know, Alan, I heard a bookie today offering Liverpool at 28-1 for the Championship. Even you will be keeping your hands in your pocket over that one.
No, it's a mixture of good, bad and different. You just don't know what to expect, you know, when they go on the pitch. 4 weeks ago, I thought their defence were really solid. I know they're all over the place, and it's a big, big game for them on Tuesday in the Coca-Cola Cup at Wimbledon.
Trevor, as far as Swindon are concerned, everybody's writing them off. But are there signs of hope for them?
Well, they're still playing their football, their good stuff. I mean, more than anything, they're just leaking the goals still. I mean, midweek against Oldham, a late goal cost them a point. And then today, you know, a late goal cost them an extra 2 points. So until they stop them going in, you just feel they are going to struggle.
OK, chaps, thank you. Well, it's my pleasure to stand in for Desmond Lynham tonight. He's busy preparing for tomorrow's sports review of 1993, of course. Here are just a few of the candidates for the top prize.
Foot of Giggs. Oh, brilliant! Right over the top from Bruno, and Lewis is rocked. Lewis is in trouble, and then a big left from Lewis, and Bruno is in trouble, desperate trouble, and Lennox Lewis has won it.
Waves his hand, and Damon Hill wins. Right, and oh, wonderful! And Sally Gallup comes through to take the world title, and the world record has gone too.
Eubank traps his man on the ropes, but back comes Ben. I think he's done it. Ben thinks he's won it. Eubank thinks he's won it.
Christie got a good one. And Christie comes through to become champion of the world.
And by this time tomorrow, we'll know who is the BBC Sports Personality of the Year. The programme live on BBC One from 7:30. Time, though, for us to see the key moments in 4 other matches this afternoon. Villa Park first.
Wimbledon seemed to enjoy playing at Villa Park. Today's victory there was their 4th league win in 6 seasons, and they had 2 goals disallowed. Here's the one that counted. Barton's corner found Jones. His header cleared off the line, but Dean Holdsworth's header scraped in off the post. Villa have now gone 5 without a win. Blackburn stay nestled in 3rd place as Alan Shearer continues to clock up the goals. The double act that put pay to Chelsea last Sunday struck again. Graham Lassau's cross dropping sweetly for Shearer's first. But a crumb of hope for Oldham just before half-time. Here's a goal for Rick Holden's video collection. He was more than happy with his afternoon's work. Blackburn reclaimed the lead and the points. Flower's long kick sprung the offside trap. Mike Newell's shot was parried by Walsh, but once again Alan Shearer in the right place at the right time for goal number 16. Southampton fans unhappy with their manager had a new suggestion for the board at the Dell. Southampton's Ken Moncow and Dave Besant may find these pictures disturbing. They made a real hash of things, allowing Les Ferdinand to give Rangers the lead after just 2 minutes. Now, Ferdinand, along with Simon Barker, was sent off at Liverpool on Wednesday, and today Carl Reddy received the red card for this shirt-tugging incident on Matthew Le Tissier. Reddy had been booked earlier for a foul on Le Tissier, and referee Kieran Barrett pulled out the red card. Now, the referee at Bramall Lane today was Vic Callow, who'd sent off the 2 Rangers players at Anfield this week, Ferdinand for kicking the ball away. So watch what happens here when Robert Varshika is given offside. Like Ferdinand, he kicks the ball away. But this time, Vic Callow decides to take no action. That was the game's only talking point in a dreary goalless draw.
And that Varshika incident, Les Ferdinand will have watched that as well, and same referee has sent him off midweek, and he'll wonder why the inconsistency.
Well, I don't think that Ferdinand will be too enamoured with that decision, and really it just outlines the need for referees to be consistent week in, week out.
Controversy today as well, Trevor, after Wimbledon's win at Villa Park. Manager Joe Kinnear saying, and I quote him here, "We enjoy going to the big clubs and poking them in the eye. We love putting their faces out of joint." Not the wisest choice of words given the Fashanu Mabbutt incident, surely.
No, you've got to say after recent events, Joe could have been a little bit more tactful, shall we say, than that.
But the heat of the moment?
Well, I'm sure he didn't think about it when he said it, but I mean, he should just let the result speak for itself and not get involved in comments like that.
Let's go then to the top of the table, see how the Premiership looks tonight. Manchester United's draw at Newcastle means their lead at the top 13 points. Leeds can reduce that deficit when they go to Norwich on Monday. Blackburn stay 3rd. At the bottom, Chelsea's point wasn't enough to lift them out of the bottom 3. Southampton's home defeat by Queen's Park Rangers means they stay next to bottom. Swindon picked up that valuable point at Liverpool, but they're rooted in 22nd place. Some late news for you tonight. Steve Coppell is to become the new chief executive of the League Managers Association, and that effectively ends months of speculation. The former Crystal Palace boss will return quickly to football management. That's just about it. If you hadn't noticed, the Premiership produced only one home winner today. That was West Ham. Trevor's smiling. A case of home alone at Upton Park. The next football on BBC One is next Saturday on Match of the Day, but of course, don't forget that sports review of the year tomorrow night. From us all, a very good evening to you.